All right, we are back for our second week, right? Like, so we are just super excited to be doing this. Just so you guys know, this is a Sunday. So we really love you guys. We are doing this on a Sunday afternoon when other people just might be self caring, but maybe this is our self care, right? So, especially during Rona. So, today we're going to talk about, well, I guess it's entitled Rona Got Me Fucked Up. We just going to keep it real how Rona has really been impacting us. I mean, mentally, physically, spiritually, all of it. So we just
Sexually,
gonna jump right in.
financially.
So we're gonna jump right in. And so Kim, because we have like this round table kind of thing, as you guys can see, as three of us. So Kim, we're gonna start off. You let us know.
Yeah. Oh man, if I could like really like do an assessment of these past 8 months, the Rona has given me sciatica. It has made my whole body all jacked up because I don't have good ergonomic situations going on in my space. So I work from home, recognizing the privilege of that because that is important for that's an important part of my story. Um, it has I'm an extrovert, and so being in social isolation has really done a number on me mentally. And I think like it's I had to like acknowledge that like, yo, I can't go out, I can't go listen to music, I can't travel, I can't possibly, go out rub up on somebody, nothing. Nothing. This is terrible. So I think for me, I've had to like really evaluate what used to feed me and figure out what do I now put in place because the things that I don't have access to that were helping me maintain my mental health and realizing what that means for me now. But it did have me fucked up. Like I gained some weight. I went to the doctor and he was like, yo, 15 pounds. I was like, what do you mean, sir? This is why I'm wearing like pants with no buttons and drawstrings because I'm not trying to go buy new clothes. I let my hair grow out because I hate long hair. So I'm just up in here like with this shit wrapped up every day. Like I don't care. Like, and I'm being real honest. Like at one point in time, like midway through, I was showering like once every 4 days because I was like, I don't even care. Like nobody's here to smell me. And like I would just sit here and work in my juices and I don't care. So I've got my hygiene a little better since that time. I went through a real rough patch because it was sunny out and I couldn't go outside. And so that's where I am. But like I've gotten through some of that stuff and y'all and other people in this work has helped me to do that. What about you, Marquia?
COVID-19. You're a hater, girl. For me, I definitely was a social drinker, loved the bar, loved to be out and see people. And then that just got snatched away. I very vividly remember the first day that Governor Cuomo shut the shit down. I was going out to have a drink with someone. We had planned it, and then it came out that everything was closed at 8 p.m. And we were just kind of like, so you mean I have to just stay inside? That didn't appeal to me. I was also an essential worker during the, first parts of COVID jumping off. So being in a supermarket and being like consistently paranoid was not exactly fun. Again, as a person with anxiety, I would, I don't know if it was hypochondria or what, but I would like be pressed and feel like I was coughing and I think I had the coronavirus and I was going to die at the register. It was really stressful. What else with COVID? Oh, and it took the gym away from me. Like, I don't want to go near anyone's gym and be around your nasty bodily fluids. I don't want to be in a bar and watch people share cups. Even watching movies on Netflix, I'm like, oh, y'all are too close. So it's definitely also giving me a level of paranoia that I don't like. I now default to staying in the house. Because who's trying to die or who's trying to be, responsible for passing this virus to someone that you care about or someone that you don't know and then they die? Who wants that guilt on them? So it's definitely been part of my French, but a mind fuck, because it's like now I live in this matrix of germs and you don't know what's what. Like you get a cough and you're like, is it a cold? Is it the COVID? Like what's happening? Like, am I about to fall out right now? So yeah, but there have been some highlights, and I know we'll probably get to that at some point. But yeah, very ghetto. Would not recommend COVID-19 pandemic experience.
We giving Yelp reviews to COVID-19.
0 out of
Yeah.
5 stars.
I think for me, well, first, let me acknowledge the disappointment because my birthday was March 25th. So my birthday was in the beginning of COVID. Okay. I had a trip planned. I was ready to go. And it kept getting close. And I'm like, I can still go. I can still go. But then, the news kept saying, I don't know. I'll start shutting things down. So I ended up having to cancel my birthday trip. And so birthdays are a big deal to me. So I was like one of the first people to have like a COVID birthday, right? Which was a Zoom video with my family and like somebody making me a cake in Florida that I couldn't eat. And it was a lot. So I think first there was a lot of disappointment. The day I left my office, like, oh, I should be back in like 2 weeks. That was my thought. And now I'm realizing all of my shoes are at work. Like the other day I was trying to go out and I was like, oh, wait, those are at work. Everything is at work. I did see an increase in my anxiety just because, similar to Kim, I work from home and it is a privilege and I'm very grateful. However, doing therapy sessions from my dining room table for the last 8 months has been super rough. Okay. And then not even really going outside. When I did go outside, I went to go get groceries for my dad. I went to get groceries for my mom. So, like, I was also, just kind of being a caregiver in some ways to other people, trying to take care of myself as well. And I think that what I learned about myself, also an extrovert, that I'm okay being alone because I realized I wasn't alone in a way that some of us are, right? So I do have people who live in my home. So I was able to be around people, but maybe I just kind of couldn't see my friends and I couldn't go out and things like that. Um, but what I did learn that I need the sun hitting my face. I didn't know I needed it. I need the sun to hit my face. So I started going for walks. I'm also a traveler, and I gotta tell you, I go on like 4 vacations a year, and I was like, "Oh hell no, Corona! Like I gotta get out of here." I hadn't went anywhere all year, and so I hate to say it, everybody's gonna hear I went to Mexico. Sorry, y'all. I had to break out
You're
of New
super
York.
spreading. You super spreading and shit. Okay, we get it.
Wait, Mexico's numbers are really low. I did my research. I did go to a resort, y'all, for 2 weeks. Okay. So again,
You
I
in
gained a
one
little
place.
weight as well. Everybody was wearing masks other than at the pool. So I did have a good time, but I needed it because I realized I wasn't going to make it, especially with the second wave on its way. And when I say I wasn't going to make it mentally, I just wasn't going to make it if I had to continue sitting at my dining room table. So I really learned a lot about what I need and not just what I want, because sometimes I deal in the things that I want, but I realized what I needed and I needed to get away. And so Rona has definitely changed my outlook on life. It really has. I don't take things for granted. And a lot of us think that Rona was just like super, super negative, but for a lot of us, there's been some positives that come out of it. So for me, I would like to go around and talk about that part, right? What are the positives for you guys that came from COVID? Marquia, we'll start with you.
Okay. So for me, I definitely appreciated the reset, right? So in addition to being like initially an essential worker, I transitioned into a new position. So I got a new job where I do now get to work from home as well. So that was really great. I did a lot more outdoor activity. I was really into the gym. I was really into like, the elliptical treadmill, but over summer, one of my good friends and I, Anzela, we went on a lot of walks. And that was different because she definitely was taking me into some questionable territory. I think she was trying to kill me a couple
Oh, I remember when
times.
you tripped.
Oh my God. It was like twice in one excursion. And I was like, see, this is the shit I be talking about. This is why I stay in the house. So, we got into nature walking, which was really cool because it's a different experience and you get to ground yourself and just, kind of appreciate all that's in front of you. Again, I told y'all last episode, I'm definitely very woo-woo. So I appreciated the grounding aspect of it. Learning a lot more about the relationships in my life and not necessarily referencing romantic, but just like with friendships and seeing how people are handling this and learning what it is that I need from my relationships in my life. And assessing how I show up for people and what I want from them for me was a big part. I did have a COVID birthday, but outside was a little bit more open than in March. So, I was able to go to a restaurant with like 4 people. Again, I don't play those games. Y'all people out here, no shaming, but the 10 and up crowd, y'all are very brave. So we had 4 for my dinner, and it was cool. It was just nice to kind of do something. But a lot of good things have happened. And, we're working on Black Women Be Whole, and just a
All
lot
your
of good
other
things.
stuff.
Yeah, a couple
Okay.
other things here and there or whatever have happened. So it's really been a cool time for discovery for me. So I mean, it's ghetto being trapped in the house, but it's nice to have, had this opportunity to learn more about myself that I probably wouldn't have, because I'd be working myself to death if we had to go outside.
Yeah, I think that's that being trapped in, you really are forced to think about yourself and kind of like what your needs are, and is this thing that I used to do serving me? And you don't kind of have to answer that because you can't do it right now anymore. So I think the good things that have happened for me is that along those lines, that I have really started to work out, like, what do I want for my life? Like, what's my future? What do I want to invest my time in? Who do I want to invest my time in? Because I think that's also ultimately important, because time is like precious. This whole thing of watching people go through like some really terrible times. I mean, people have lost their homes, jobs and things, and kind of their financial situation has changed. For me, the good thing is that I got debt free during this time. I paid off buku mother freaking bucks during Rona because, one, I wasn't traveling, I wasn't going out, wasn't going to dinners, wasn't going to happy hour, didn't need to like buy lunch for work. So a lot of those things that financially that would have been a burden, I would have enjoyed them for sure. Let's not get that messed up, twisted. But I didn't have access to do those things. And so I focused on, getting rid of my debt. And so I'm pretty sure that, barring any medical kind of needs that usually white people's debt out, that I can stay debt free for a good long while. And so I think for me, that was a really huge thing, like financial stability. Um, Kind of like working on, I've met some new friends. I became friends with people online. So that's not a thing that I've ever really been into, because I'm an in-person kind of friend maker. Like, oh my God, I met this girl, I met this dude. Like, we're friends now because we hang out, we go have drinks. But, we do Zoom happy hours. And so I've become friends with people online. And that's how I first got to know them, because that's where I met them. So kind of widening my network of people that I like, and not necessarily located in one particular space. And I think also just kind of investing in what happens after the Rona, like really thinking, like, when I come out of this, like, am I going to be okay with doing this thing? Do I want to travel? And so really being forward thinking, which I think for me has been helpful in looking towards the future. Like, I'm still going to be here. Things are hopefully going to go well. So let's plan for what happens after that, Like, am I going to get some boom boom? Like, who's the first person I'm going to sleep with? That has been on my mind. And is it going to be good, or is just I got to get it out the way because I just got to get out the way? I don't know. So there we go. That I'll leave it at that.
But we need to make sure that they have a negative COVID test, because
I know.
we don't know if people frolicking in these streets.
The
Is it worth dying for
vaccine
some
might be out by
mediocre?
then.
Yo, dying for mediocre dick. I don't want that to be on my fucking headstone.
Just had to have it. Now look at you.
Look at you. This is terrible. What did I do to myself?
Tinder's gonna have a space. Did you take the vaccine? Yes or no?
Yes. It better be
Before
on
you
there
decide to
soon.
swipe. Did you get the vaccine? What's going on?
I need to know. Give up them details.
No, it's real.
Yeah, I think the positive thing also is that there are people in my life who don't live in New York City. And I think, we don't see each other as much, but during Corona, it was like, oh, we can just do a Zoom. Even though I was on video most of the day working. So it was pissing me off sometimes, but I was really happy to see each other. Kim and I actually went to the same undergrad together, and our African American Latino Alumni Association started doing these like Friday night calls. And so it was people from, class of 1970 something, all the way to class of 2019. And so
Yeah.
we got to know so many different people who I probably wouldn't have gotten to know otherwise, right? And just was able to just kind of kick it about our experience at a predominantly white school, and just, living upstate, and just where we are in our lives now. So I think that connection piece is what I appreciate the most. That throughout Corona, I feel like I've connected more with people. Yeah, there is some people that I really haven't spoken to much, but there are a lot of people that I have spoken to more than I would normally. So I appreciate the connection that I've gotten throughout Corona. And I think, Marquia, similar to you with the reset, it's nice to just slow my life down a little bit. Um, and I started to think about how many clients I was taking on per day, right? Like if I want to do that to myself, or do I need more time for myself? I continued to go to therapy. It was over the phone. Yes, because I knew that I needed that too. So I think I was really taking stock in what I needed. And gratitude became really important. And finding my joy became super important. Every day I was like, okay, where's my joy? Is it going to be the walk in the park? Is that going to be me going to Central Park today? Like, what is it going to be? Because I have to find it, because I could not get caught up in CNN and the news all day, right? Because the news was super depressing. It still is kind of super depressing. So I kind of have to monitor how much of it I take in. But I think throughout this time, I've definitely just been able to kind of find my joy, and just have gratitude, just be grateful for the things that I do have. The fact that I actually just found out that my mom had Corona. She had it in the
What?
beginning. My mom is 71 years old. We found, because she got the antibody test, so she found out she had it. And so I need to be so grateful that she's still here, right? And so maybe God knew that like we couldn't lose her. And so she's still here. So I'm just very grateful for a lot, and for all of the people who are like, some people in relationships was really going down throughout this time. I have to say, my husband and I, we were pretty good. The communication was pretty good. I think it really works because he would be here one week and then he would visit his mom the other week to take care of her. So we didn't have to see each other like all day, every
Like
day.
full
Like we
time.
were like 1 week on, 1 week off. So when we did see each other, it was like, oh, hey, I can't wait to have dinner with you tonight, because I'm working in one room, he's working in the other room. So I did realize that I really like my partner. I think that's a big deal. Because in this time, I could have realized that I really didn't like him. So I'm grateful that I do like him. So yeah, I just wanted to think about the things that I am grateful for. So I'm glad that we can kind of have a conversation about the positives, because overwhelmingly all we do is talk about the negatives of 2020. And we got verses. Let me just throw that out
Come
there. I
on
forgot.
now.
Shout out to people who have started things in the pandemic. And that's not, I think this space has given people time to do things that they didn't have time to do. I think another aspect of that is the noise of like just city living, partying, this, that, something that we all get caught up in because that's where we meet people has kind of gone away. And so I think my relationships with people have deepened because they're not as surface if I only see you at a happy hour. Like if I only see you in a bar or somewhere social, we're not really friends. Like we can be friends, but we're not friends. Like you don't know like the wild stories or something, like we're not friends because you don't know me. So I think like the opportunity to really get to know people in a deeper level has been really important and special.
I also think that question of how you doing hit different now. Like you ask me how I'm doing now, I'm gonna tell you all of it. Like, you know what? I'm not giving you that nice superficial answer that we normally give. I'm like, nah, I'm about to give you the real. Cause we in Rona. So you fucked up too. You know what I mean? You probably going through it too. So I'm not gonna even lie. I'm gonna keep it real. So I think that during this time, when people ask you how you doing, I think people have been very vulnerable in ways that they haven't been before, transparent. And I appreciate that, especially from brown people. We got to learn that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's a strength. It's not a weakness. So I think that this time has really helped us with that.
Don't
Yeah.
ask if you don't want the answer.
Like, you ready for this? Because I need a therapy session, ma'am, sir. I'm not giving you fine anymore because that's
I'm
not
actually having a really shitty day. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you like,
Are you ready to be present for people? Are you ready? Right? Because if you're not ready, don't ask me. Just say, hey.
Right.
just be like, what's up? And leave
Hope
it
you're
at what's
well.
up. Hope you're well. Don't be
Yeah.
like, how you doing? Oh, you want how I'm doing? Right. So I think that, yeah.
You like somebody
Um,
coughed on me and it's over right now. I'm like, I'm in la la land until I can stop thinking about this. What paranoia is like at an all-time high. People are beating people up on the train. Like you cough, sir. Whop, whop. Like
That's what's going on in the city right now.
this guy got beat up on the train because he was coughing. And it was like, cover your mouth. Like people are freaking out. That's why I don't want to get outside, because that whole paranoia thing for me is my trigger. Like, okay, now I think I have it, and now I gotta go and like sanitize myself. What the hell? Like it's
and
wow.
And let me tell you, as New Yorkers, trying to get a COVID test is not easy. If you're from New York City, let me tell you, this morning, I went to about 4 different places. The line was a block and a half long trying to get a COVID test. So I'm not trying to be paranoid. Don't cough near me because I don't want to have to go stand on one of them lines for my whole day trying to get a test. And I'll tell you, I take the train. I've been taking the train throughout Corona. And we trying to stay away from each other on the train. But once that thing gets crowded, it's going to be scary because people are very agitated, very irritated. And at this point, we just don't know what's going on in people's minds and in their lives, right? So I try and, give everybody grace, but everybody's not giving everybody grace. So it's definitely hard. If you cough on the train, you take that mask off in any way, somebody gonna check you real quick. It ain't gonna be pretty.
I'm
Don't get
serious.
slapped.
Right? Exactly. Stop it. So I mean, like what I guess our self-care, I mean, we kind of like touched on it, but like I know Ednesha, for you, walking was very important during this time. Was there anything else, I think, in terms of like self-care, like what worked? I mean,
So I
what
think for
works? What
me,
did it?
what worked, I was journaling. And listen, as a therapist, I always tell my clients to journal. But and sometimes I was like, I don't really journal. Let's go back to paranoia for a second. I think that I have a fear that somebody's gonna read my journal. So that's why I don't journal that much.
What you think
I'm like,
what like the stuff you really believe? Like I
if
want
these are my
somebody to read
true
my
feelings
journal. I
and my
want them to read
true
my journal
thoughts,
like this is who existed at that time. She's wow.
only my therapist know the shit, like all the shit. I gave her all of it. She gets all the smoke. So I'm like, if I put this on paper, somebody finds it. I don't know. But I've been journaling more because I just felt like I needed to get some stuff out of my head. And so that's been super helpful. Like you said, the walking has been really helpful. Um, Now, what's been really helpful is I'm eating better. I mean, it may not sound like, but it's made a real difference because I felt really guilty and there was a lot of shame because I was too close to the refrigerator every day and I was eating a lot. And so now I have like a nutritionist and we've been going through what I eat and it's so structured and I love it. And so you know what I'll say? Structure. Structure has been super helpful because I know what my day is going to look like because our days have just kind of been running one after the other, one after the other. And so me having structure has been super helpful for me. What about you, Marquia? What's worked?
For me, the thing that's kept me alive is the internet gyms that have popped up for me. Effect Fitness, baby, has saved myself and a lot of people probably from my wrath. It's a very hard workout. Like, shout out to them because they definitely made sure that people had access to being able to move their bodies during this time for free for a big portion of the pandemic. So it was on Instagram and Facebook Live. We would go on 3 times a day. You don't have to do all 3 of them, but it was an intense workout. It was black as fuck. So, you're getting Roscoe Dash, you're getting Young Jeezy, you're getting all of these. Like, for me, it was like undergrad in a workout. So it was a fun time. Brookline was really helpful. Just really looking for different exercise routines online because I couldn't go to the gym. So I didn't know what else to do. I needed to have that physical activity every day in order to feel like all my marbles were not gonna, roll all over the floor. So definitely the internet gyms, YouTube. Like if you need anything, hit us up in the DMs. I got you. I'll tell you where to look. But that was really my saving grace during this.
Yes, and I would be like, Marquia, you're like, oh, I'm doing 3 hours. I'll be done. How? How, Sway? You were serious about it. That's a serious investment. So good for you. Because I mean, I should have done that because maybe I wouldn't have had sciatica flare ups, but I laid around a lot. So Zoom happy hours were my shit. Like in the first half,
It was cute for the first week.
like I was like masquerade party with my box of wine. Come through. Let's do it. I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to do Netflix, watch parties. I invested a lot in that. And then it got boring, right? Like it didn't serve me anymore because I was like, I'm drunk a lot. Also, like, I'm like, why am I drunk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? And this is not good.
What's some shit else to do?
Right? Like it felt like everybody was just doing that, like in the first like half or first
binge
quarter
watching
of it.
was a huge thing. Like I binge watched a couple of different things. Yeah, I don't even want to say to everybody because it's like, girl, I thought you was working. I was, but I don't know. I found you always find time to binge watch. Yes. What is that about? You'll be up until 4:30 in the morning, like one more. And Netflix just be like, in a couple of seconds, it's gonna go over to the next episode.
You like, you don't even give me a break.
Right.
Got the raccoon eyes. You're like, I don't want to talk. Leave me alone. Like, so there was a lot of that. Like, I did a lot of that, and then I was like, okay, Kim, this is not very healthy for you because this is involving lots of alcohol. Like, and Amazon shopping was my friend.
Come on. Like Christmas every day. Something coming for me.
It was like, surprise, girl, what is that? Then I was going to the supermarket.
I just read an article.
Go ahead.
I read an article that said Walmart and Amazon made $133 billion quarantine.
Absolutely.
COVID.
I believe it.
I was like, damn, I really wish I could give my money to a small business, but it'll take me 3 weeks to get my shit and I'm gonna be mad.
And I need this air fryer right now.
I want to make
like a Black business. It might be 4 weeks, and they'd be like, "Oh, we forgot about you. Wait, let's get it to
you." No, you know what? They couldn't handle the volume of it because that's if you overwhelm people with stuff like that, and that's not what they're normal. They don't have a system set up, But definitely Amazon shopping. Then I was going to Club Superfood Market because it was like a club there. It was like, oh, well, I'm going to see my neighbor there because she buying one damn potato. Because at some point in time, you're like, that was the only place I could get out to.
Now, wait a minute. As an essential worker, we really hated that shit because we know you didn't need nothing. And you out here risking me catching the damn coronavirus because you needed a piece of cake. You just needed a piece of cake, bitch. We got salt. We got sugar. We got flour. We got all these things for you to make a cake so that you can have one for the whole week. You don't need.
They just need to go outside. That's all.
I was definitely guilty of that. I'm sorry. It was pleasurable because it was like. But I had my mask on, my gloves. I did everything, and they had the partition up. It just was like, I was like, I need olive oil. I have things in my damn cabinet that don't go together, and I don't care, and I don't know what to do with them. So I just gotta let it go. But and then I think it moved to more of like just these online groups, like join the book club, a couple of other things. I think things that were a little more deep and meaningful in terms of conversation, And so I'm kind of like really good with that space right now. And I think for me, those work, like connecting with people socially online through like topics or ideas. So that's where I am. I'm not doing half of that stuff that I was doing at the first half because that was real. Wow.
I mean, things changed. I think that we've adapted, right? And so we don't, because those are coping mechanisms, let's be clear, right? Like, so some of them coping mechanisms no longer work because we've adapted to our situation. However, if we hit this second wave, now we got to figure out again.
Run that back.
That's what about to be like. You got to figure all of it out again. You got to figure out what's going to work because listen, seasonal affective disorder is serious. Depression is serious, right? Like, so we really, everyone out here there who's listening, you have to figure out what you need during this time that's going to get you through because it's not going to be easy, especially us in cold places, right? Because we can't go out and we can't gather, especially Black people. Like, we need the fellowship. Like we need some laughs. We need to be around each other.
No barbecues,
Taking
no
all of that
No
from
cookouts.
us,
barbecue. Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a struggle. And
No
so
fish
everyone
fry,
needs to
child.
start to figure out what they need for the winter to kind of get through this.
Okay, so I do want to let's take a note because I want to do some hateration on all these damn people who acted like it wasn't a thing and they were outside and they're the reason why we're going back in.
Ooh, talk about it. Tell them why you mad, girl.
Oh, like what are you doing
A
outside?
rapper.
What are you having a whole ass barbecue party? Nobody has a mask on, and you outside like shutting down the street because there's so many people out there. What are you doing? I don't want to keep doing this.
Rona definitely had us fucked up. It might still have us fucked up.
We
Full
might be
circle, to be
perpetually
honest,
fucked up
child.
at this point. Oh, that reminds me of that meme about Bird Box. They said we didn't understand how they kept going outside. Now look at you outside during the Rona. If you saw the movie Bird Box on Netflix,
Yes, that was hilarious.
like what?
20 years, I'm gonna have somebody on my couch talking about how Corona impacted them 20 years ago.
And them
And
weird
they
little
still
COVID
got
kids.
problems.
But think about that. Like I was, if okay, age wise, if this happened like in 1918, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the people that went through it, you wonder why like your grandmother was always like, don't eat in nobody's house, always stay clean, this, that, the other, or just like you're like, is that why nobody hugged me when I was little? Like you started thinking about it like this because of the way you were conditioned during this pandemic issue. Like it's cyclical. Like, are we going to be the people at that time who behave differently to future generations? Like little kids are all weirded out. Like you're gonna die if you don't have a mask on. Like Mason, right? So
It
what
might
does
be a
this
little
mean?
paranoia.
Yeah,
So I think we have to get ready for a very different lifestyle, quality of life too. A lot of us are big on hugging and kissing, and
Don't touch me,
is
please.
right. Is all of that going to be gone now? If you're not in an intimate relationship with me, don't kiss me, don't hug me, don't touch me.
but like
Is that
air
going to be what
hug.
it is?
What does that mean? Listen, what does that mean for dating? Like this might get real weird.
Don't
And
touch
it's
me. How long have we known each other? Don't be. You can't come to my house. Where you been?
So
Contact
it's
tracing.
wait. It sounds like we're gonna have to do a whole podcast on dating during the pandemic.
girl, it's
Who's doing
messy.
dating during the pandemic? I can't relate.
I'm not. You know why? Because I want all my time to be for me. Like I don't have time to deal with your emotional baggage and my own shit. Like I'm sorry, I've got
I'm
enough
just not
over
trying to
here.
die because you don't know how to stay in the house.
Who knows? What's going to happen. Well, I think for people who are listening, definitely figuring out what your plan is to manage this is going to be important. And thank you for that, because I didn't think about, I may have to reevaluate whether these things that are working now will work. So how do we end this? What do we say? What do we tell people? It's happening. The second wave is happening, whether we want it to happen or not, because
Because y'all
people.
won't stay inside. Just kidding, kind of.
No, but I mean, literally, it's like stay your ass home.
Figure out what self-care looks like for you. That's it. That's what I would say. Just you just have to figure it out, right? If you haven't been taking care of yourself, you better figure out how to do it. Especially for the moms, for the students, for the sons, the daughters, right? Like, who have other people they might be responsible for. You have to think about how you're going to take care of yourself. That's what I would say.
And if you need resources or community, kind of like what Kim was referencing, definitely check us out on Instagram, shameless plug. But we do have, some good tips on there. We do have some very active followers that'll definitely give you a little boost and a little push. So if you do need that as well, definitely come check us out on Instagram because we're figuring it out too, girl. So come on through and help us.
Hello. Shout out to our followers. We love y'all. Okay, so take us out, Ednesha Salisbury, LCSW.
So we will see you guys soon. Again, we haven't figured out if we're going to see y'all every week or every 2 weeks, but we just going to say
We'll be
we're going to
back.
see y'all soon.
One more again. We're going to do it one more again and we'll keep you posted.
All right. Some real Black girl shit. We
Real
out.
Black girl shit.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening to the Black Woman Be Whole podcast. If you want to keep up with all things Black Woman Be Whole, you can follow us on Instagram at Black Woman Be Whole. You can find us on Facebook at Black Woman Be Whole. And check out our website where you can find out more about what we're doing. If we're having workshops, you can check out our cool merch and just keep up with what's going on. We hope to see you there soon.